Good morning students. How are you all? Very good. Hope you all studying at home. Today in this class we are going to study a topic about Aesop fables. Okay, the topic is Aesop fables. What is meant by fables? Fables means it is nothing but a short story. Okay, it is a short story that gives a lesson, that teaches us a lesson. It will gives a moral value for us. So it is known as the fables. Do you like to hear stories, children? Whom will you tell stories? Your parents, your grandparents. So they will tell you a lot of bedtime stories and all. How do you feel while hearing those stories? You will feel very joyful. Am I right? So we will learn a lot of things from the stories of what is wrong, what is right, and what are the things we have to do, what are the things we have not to do. So we have learned a lot of things by listening to the story.
Children, every one of us have heard some stories of far off countries, animal stories, and stories of our own land. Those stories are told by our grandparents, parents, teachers, and our friends. Many a time, your mother must have told you, if you finish your food, I will tell you a story at bedtime. Stories take you to an enchanting world, a delightful world. Look at this picture. Do you remember the story of this picture? The fox and the grapes. One day, a fox was very hungry. He searched everywhere for food. At last, the fox went in a vineyard. He saw some bunches of grapes hanging from the vines. He tried to reach them, but they were too high. He jumped again and again, but could not reach them. At last, he got tired and said, "These grapes are sour. I don't want them." Then it ran. So, the moral of the story is that you often hate what you can't have. Look at this second picture. You would all have definitely heard of this story. The Thirsty Crow. There was a crow which was very thirsty. He searched for water everywhere. At last, he saw a water pot near a well. He looked inside the pot. There was very little water in the pot. The crow saw some stones nearby. He thought of a plan. He picked up some stones. He put them one by one into the pot. The water level in the pot came up. The crow drank the water and flew happily. So, what is the moral of this story, children? Where there is a will, there is a way. This third picture is about the story of the fox and the crow. One day, a crow found a large piece of cheese. She sat in a tree and wanted to eat it. But suddenly, she saw a fox. The fox came up to the tree. He looked up and saw the crow. He saw a large piece of cheese also. The fox wanted to get the cheese. He had a good plan in his mind. He says, "How beautiful you are, Mrs. Crow. You have such big eyes and a beautiful nose. Your feathers are nice too. What a pity you cannot sing to show your voice." The crow opened her mouth and says, "But I can sing." When the crow opened her mouth, the piece of cheese fell out. The fox ran up to the cheese and ate it. Thank you very much, he says. The cheese was good and you can sing well. What a pity you don't think well. And the fox ran away. So, the moral of this story is never fall for flattering words. So, we have seen three stories. So, these three stories tells us the moral and ethical values of what is right and what is wrong. What are the things we have to do and what are the things we should not do. So, we learn a lot of things by listening to the stories.
Now let us move on to the Aesop fables. Okay, page number 93. Long time ago, there lived a great storyteller in Greece called Aesop. It is believed that Aesop was a slave but was given his freedom because of his literary skills. He was a great storyteller and is credited with more than 600 fables. Fables are short stories that teach moral or ethical values to young children. So they have said about the Aesop. Okay, Aesop is a man. He lives in Greece. Okay, he is a storyteller. Okay, Aesop is a storyteller. It is believed that Aesop was a slave. So they say that Aesop was a slave. Look at here, the meaning of slave is a person who has been owned by some other person. Okay, a person who has been owned by some other person. So this slave has to work for them. They won't be very freedom. Okay, they have to work for the others, but was given his freedom because of his literary skills. But this slave, the Aesop, has been given full freedom. For what? Because he has many literary skills. Okay, the meaning of literary skills is the ability of reading and writing. So the Aesop has the ability to read and write. So he was given full freedom, even though he was a slave. He was a great storyteller and is credited with more than 600 fables. So the Aesop has given 600 fables. Fables means I have already told stories. Okay, Aesop has given more than 600 fables. Fables are short stories that teach moral or ethical values to young children. From these short stories, who will learn? The children will learn the moral and ethical values. So moral and ethical values means it's nothing but it is of knowing the right things. Okay, what to do and what not to do. Aesop stories have simple plots and their themes are easy for children to understand. So in Aesop stories there are many series. Okay, those series will be very easy for the children to understand. The characters of the fables are usually animals who act like human beings. So in Aesop fables, there will be the animals. Okay, the animals will act like the human beings. Have you understood this? See here. Aesop lived in Greece. Okay, Aesop lived in Greece. He was a slave. He was a slave. So Aesop has been living as a slave. The meaning of slave is a person who has been owned by some other person. So Aesop was a slave. He was a great storyteller. So Aesop was a great storyteller. Aesop has written more than 600 fables. Aesop has written more than 600 fables. His fables teach moral and ethical values to the young children. His fables teach moral and ethical values to the young children. Shall we read from first? Aesop lived in Greece. He was a slave. He was a great storyteller. Aesop has written more than 600 fables. His fables teach moral and ethical values to the young children. Next, Aesop's fables tell us that the world of people is full of truth. We find some people who are very good, helpful and honest. So Aesop says that the people who lives in this world will speak only the truth. We find some people who are very good, helpful and honest. So the people who live in this world, some of them are very good. They will be very helpful for others. They won't do harm to others. They are very honest. We also find people who are bad, dishonest and have bad qualities. And at the same time, some of the people seems to be very bad. They harm others, they won't respect others. They will be dishonest. Whose footsteps do we follow? So there are two categories of people who lives in this world. To whom should we follow? What if whenever we have this dilemma, these stories flash across our minds. So the meaning of dilemma is confusion. Okay, dilemma, confusion. So if we have this confusion, what we have to do? We have to remind the stories that we have heard. You might speak to yourself. So what we have to do? We have to speak to ourselves. Granny told me that we should never be bad to people. So we have to remind the story which our grandmother said. We have to recall that. What we have to do? We have to only be honest. We have to do only the good things to others. Fables of Aesop teach moral values and focuses on the following. See here, the fables focuses on enriching young minds with creativity. Okay, enriching. Enrich means improve. Okay, the meaning of enrich is improve. Enriching young minds with creativity. So it improves the minds of the young children. Okay, improves the mind of the young children with creative. Scientific facts. Scientific facts. So it tells about the science. It tells about the truth of the science. Weather and season. So these fables focuses on weather and season. Next, some facts on animals and plants. Then the Aesop fable says about the facts. It says about the truth of the animals and plants, its habitats and habits. Okay. The fables focuses on enriching young minds with creativity, scientific facts, weather and seasons, some facts on animals and plants. Shall we read this once again? Aesop fables tells us that the world of people is full of truth. We find some people who are very good, helpful and honest. We also find people who are bad, dishonest and have bad qualities. Whose footprints do we follow? Whenever we have the dilemma, these stories flash across our minds. You might speak to yourself. Granny told me that we should never be bad to people. Fables of Aesop teach us moral values that focuses on enriching young minds with creativity, scientific facts, weather and seasons, some facts on animals and plants. Have you understood this? Okay, now let us see the hard words. Slave, a person who has been owned by some other person. So the meaning of slave is a person who has been owned by some other person. Literary skills, the ability of reading, writing. So literary skills means the ability of reading, writing. Dilemma, confusion. Dilemma, confusion. Enrich, improve. Enrich, improve. Okay children, now let us read from first. Okay. Aesop lived in Greece. Aesop lived in Greece. He was a slave. He was a slave. So the he refers to the Aesop. Okay. He was a great storyteller. He was a great storyteller. Aesop has written more than 600 fables. Aesop has written more than 600 fables. His fables teach moral and ethical values to the young children. These fables teach moral and ethical values to the young children. So this Aesop fables focuses on enriching young mind with creativity. Okay, it focuses on enriching, it improves young minds with creativity and scientific facts, weathers and seasons, some facts on animals and plants. Okay students, so in this lesson they have given some of the fables for you. So the first one is the rivers and the sea. The rivers and the sea. Second one is Santas drink of the sea. Santas drink of the sea. The third one, thirsty crow. The third story is thirsty crow. So now let us see one by one. So the first one is the rivers and the sea.
The river and the sea are meeting together. After the river merges into the sea, its potable water changes into salty and unfit. The sea water changes the river water to salty and unfit to drink.
Three rivers started to accuse the sea of turning their water salty and unfit. The sea cut them off, saying all they had to do was stop flowing hard. The rivers joined together to complain to the sea, saying, "Why is it that when we flow into your tides, so potable and sweet, you work in us such a change and makes us salty and unfit to drink?" The sea, perceiving that they intended to throw the blame on him, said, "Cease to flow into me, and then you will not be made dry." So the river speaks to the sea. Okay, this is the story of the river is speaking to the sea. Three rivers started to accuse the sea. So there are three rivers. Okay, they started to accuse. They started to blame the sea of turning their water salty and unfit. Do you think that the river water is salty? No, the river water won't be salty. The sea water will only be salty. So the three rivers blames the sea that when you merge into your sea, why we became salty and unfit. So we are not potable to drink. So why you turn our water into salty? The sea cut them off, saying all they had to do was stop flowing. So the sea replies that if you don't want to be salty, what you have to do? You have to stop flowing into the sea. So the sea replies to the river. Three rivers started to accuse the sea of turning their water salty and unfit. The sea cut them off, saying all they had to do was stop flowing. The rivers joined together to complain to the sea. Why is it that when you flow into your tides, so potable and sweet? So the river again starts to complain to the sea. Before coming into the sea, we are very sweet. Okay, we are very potable and sweet. See, the meaning of potable is drinkable. Okay, potable, drinkable. The river says that before we come into your sea, we are very potable. We are very fit to drink and sweet. We are very sweet. You work in such a change and make us salty and unfit to drink. So the river says that when you merge into your sea, you have made some changes, that you have changed our water very salty and unfit to drink. The rivers join together to complain to the sea, saying Why is it that when we flow into your tides, tides means the waves of the sea, so potable and sweet, so before coming into your sea, we are very drinkable and we are so sweet. You work in us such a change and make us salty and unfit to drink. So after merging into your sea, what you are doing? You are making some changes and you make us very salty and unfit to drink. The sea, perceiving that they intended to throw the blame on him, said, "Cease to flow into me, and then you will not be made briny." So what is the sea saying? Perceiving. Perceiving means understand. Okay, the meaning of perceive is understand. That they intended to throw the blame on him. So the sea understands that they are trying to blame the sea. Cease to flow into me. So the meaning of cease is stop. Okay, cease, stop. Cease to flow into me, and then you will not be made briny. The meaning of briny is salt. The meaning of briny is salt. So the sea says that if you want to be sweet and potable, stop flowing into my sea. You have to stop merging into my sea. Shall I read from first? 3 rivers started to accuse the sea of turning waters salty and unfit. The sea cut them off, saying all they had to do was stop flowing. The rivers joined together to complain to the sea, saying, "Why is it that when we flow into your tides, so potable and sweet, you work in such a change and make us salty and unfit to drink?" The sea, perceiving and that they intended to throw the blame on him, said, "Cease to flow into me, and then you will not be made briny." Okay, shall we move on to the second story? Second one is Xanthus, drink of the sea. Okay, the second fable is Xanthus, drink of the sea. Xanthus was giving a party. At that moment, one of the guests asked him a question: "Is it true that man's abilities are unlimited?" So Xanthus is a person. Okay, so Xanthus is giving a party to the others. At that moment, one of the guests asked him a question. So in the party there will be many guests arriving. Okay, among them one of the guests is asking, "Is it true that man's abilities are unlimited?" So he is asking if a man thinks what to do, whether it is possible for him to do those things that he thinks. So a man is asking that, is there any possibilities for a man to do the things which he likes to do? "There can be no doubt about it," replied Xanthus. So Xanthus is saying, yes, there are many possibilities for a man to do what he likes to do in this world. "Do you think a man can drink the sea?" The guest went on. So the guest is asking, do you think it is possible for a man to drink the sea water? "Piece of cake, I can do it easily," boasted Xanthus, and they made a bet. So for the Xanthus is replying that I can able to do it. I can able to do it like eating a piece of cake. So he tells with a huge pride. So the meaning of boasted is with huge pride. Okay, proud. So Xanthus is saying that I can able to drink the sea water. The next morning, Xanthus woke up and was told by Aesop, his slave, that unless he drank of the sea, his property would be taken away from him. So next morning, Xanthus is waking up and he meets Aesop, and Aesop says that you have a bet. In that bet, if you lose your chance, what you have to do? You have to give your property to whom you have bet. So you have bet to some other person. If you lose your chance, if you lose the game, you have to give your property to that person. Xanthus, seized with fear, began to stop Aesop to think of a way out. So seized, The meaning of ceases to be affected by emotion. Okay, the meaning of ceases to be affected by emotion. So Xanthus is very much fear. So he has a lot of fear on thinking about this. So he is asking to Aesop to give him an idea. Finally, Aesop told him what to do. So Aesop is suggesting an way to this Xanthus. When a crowd had gathered by the sea, Xanthus walked up to the man and said, "You are waiting for me to drink up the sea, aren't you?" So the people have heard that they have a bed, so they all gather and they are very eager to see how Xanthus is drinking the sea water. So he is asking, "Do you want me to drink the sea water, aren't you?" "Yes," echoed the crowd. "Only the sea?" asked Xanthus. So further the crowd is replying, "Yes, we are very eager to see how you are drinking the sea water." "Only the sea?" asked Xanthus. So Xanthus is asking, "Do you want me to drink only the sea water?" "Yes," come from the crowd. So the crowd is replying that yes, you have to drink only the sea water. Alright. As is known, there are many rivers that flow into the sea. So Xanthus is saying to the people, all you have to know that the river also flow into the sea. So there are two waters. The two waters will merge and they will flow as the sea water. To make sure that I will be drinking only the water of the sea and not that of the rivers, I demand that all the rivers should be separated first." So the meaning of demand is order. Okay, he is ordering that if you want me to drink the sea water, what you have to do? You have to separate the river water apart from the sea water. If you do that, I will drink the sea water. This is how Xanthus won the bet. So at last Xanthus won the bet. Okay, now let us read this story from first. Xanthus was giving a party. At that moment, one of the guests asked him a question. "Is it true that man's abilities are unlimited?" "There can be no doubt about it," replied Xanthus. "Do you think a man can drink the sea water?" The guest went on. "Piece of cake. I can do it easily," boasted Xanthus. And they made a bet. The next morning, Xanthus woke up and was told by Aesop, his slave, that unless he drank up the water, his property would be taken away from him. Xanthus, seized with fear, began to beg Aesop to think of a way out. Finally, Aesop told him what to do. When a crowd had gathered by the sea, Xanthus walked up to the man and said, "You are waiting for me to drink of the sea, aren't you?" "Yes," echoed the crowd. "Only the sea?" asked Xanthus. "Yes," confirmed the crowd. "Alright. As is known, there are many rivers that flow into the sea. To make sure that I will be drinking only the water of the sea and not that of the rivers, I demand that all the rivers should be separated first. Only then I will carry out my commitment." The meaning of commitment is promise. Okay, the meaning of commitment is promise. That is how Xanthus won the bet. Okay, have you understood the story, children? Shall we move on to the third one? So the third story is the thirsty crow. Okay, so you have already know the story of the thirsty crow. Now let us see once again. The story of the thirsty crow has made us feel, "Oh, what a silly little crow to add pebbles into the pot of water." It is possible for the water level to rise if we throw some pebbles into the jar with water in it. So what will the thirsty crow do? The thirsty crow will add pebbles in the water to make the water level rise, so it can able to drink the water. Did you know that in this story, Aesop was talking about a scientific fact? So in this story, Aesop has been talking about the truth of science. Have you ever tried entering a completely filled with water. So Aesop is saying that have you ever tried by filling the tub with full of water? When you enter the tub, the water will spill out and will spread on the floor of the bathroom. So what will the tub do? So when you enter into the tub, the water in the tub will start to spill out from the tub. Okay. This is because there is no extra space in the tub. So this happens because of no space in the tub. The thirsty crow knew that the water level will rise up to give space to the pebbles that it had dropped into the pot. So this has been followed by the thirsty crow. So it has added the pebbles in the pot and the water has been raised from the pot. Aesop stories are famous for teaching ethical values to young children. Read the stories and learn how to be a good human being. So the Aesop says that these fables will give you a moral and ethical values. So you all have to read and you have to gain knowledge. Okay, have you understood the story, students? Shall we read the hard words once again? Potable, drinkable, perceive, understand, intend, plan, seize, stop. Briny, salt, cease, to be affected by emotion, commitment, promise. Okay, this is for your home assignment. Write the keywords, synonyms, antonyms in your classwork note. Write the keywords, synonyms, antonyms in your classwork note. Thank you, students.